Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Joey Paterno back here on Unbreakable Strength Athletics. Today I'm going to be taking you through Davion and Callum's bench workout. Yesterday I posted their squat workout, and I really just want to post their list this week just to get them some exposure and show you what I do with my athletes that I train here. As you guys saw in the last video, they did a squat workout, and today's their bench day. And what I do is after their hypertrophy phase, I go into a strength phase, and then I peak. Depending on their strength, a peaking block is different for everyone. You know, if someone squats 800 pounds, their peaking phase is going to take a lot longer. It's all very specific to the person you're training, and it's different for everyone. It's really based off of feel. But since they're not squatting, 650 to 700 pounds, their peaking block is going to be a little shorter because when you lower the reps, it doesn't take as long for them to get used to the heavier weights or overload with lower reps. So yeah, after this strength phase, they're going to go into a peak, and then they're going to test their lifts, and then it's kind of like a rinse and recycle kind of thing. And once they get closer to the season, that's when I'm going to start incorporating more of a concurrent style system, which is conjugate from Westside Barbell. That's really what I did my whole high school career and even in college. But when they first start training, when they're in high school at a younger age, it's better to start with the linear periodization or just overloading over time, progressive overload. It's a lot smarter. It helps them build a lot more muscle mass and just build overall strength. It's better to do that full range of motion when you first start off lifting. But yeah, once we get closer to the football season and we get into the summer workouts, we're going to start doing speed bench, speed box squats, things like that to get more explosive. But yeah, let's get to the video.
Thrown away, abandoned all you know. Could you have changed? I'll never know. never thought that I would be here without you. I never even got to say goodbye. Never thought that I would be here without you.
Going straight into dips to finish the workout out. At first, when we started doing dips, Callum could barely hold his weight up with a strong blue band and this gray average band. Now he's repping it out. Same thing with Day Day. He was able to do a little more reps at the beginning, but not as smooth as you see it right here. All right, guys, that's going to conclude Davion and Callum's bench day. Both guys are progressing very well. Callum ended up doing 265 for a good double, went 275, only got it for one. They moved very well, but he wasn't able to get the second rep, and I'll explain why in a second. Davion did 175 for a good double, so I let him take 185. He only got a rep and a half, and it wasn't a very pretty rep. His ass came up, and his body was all over the place. So went back down to 175 because 175 moved a little iffy, but it didn't move bad to the point where I was like, cut it. So went back down to 175 and moved it flawless. It's the best I've ever seen him bench at a heavy weight for him. A big thing with their bench press, what I teach all my athletes, I only have 3 clients right now, but it's a full body lift. Like everyone thinks bench press is just chest and your upper body. Yeah, those are the main components for the bench press. But when you're trying to bench for power and even hypertrophy style lifts, you want to have your full body engaged so that you're just using your chest. So big thing with new people to bench press, the tips that I give is, push your heels down and back towards your head so that you're pushing back, right? You're keeping your legs engaged throughout the whole lift. Another thing is spread your knees out and keep them out there. Same thing with the squat. Keep your knees out, push down and back. That keeps a lot of tension in your legs. And the other thing too is getting a good arch. I'm not talking about, the powerlifting, super rainbow looking arch. I'm not talking about that, but a good foundational arch, getting up on your traps almost. That's what I tell my guys. That's where I try to get them in that position because that's the most powerful position you're going to have in the bench press. And the other thing too is, right, when they unrack the bar, right, push up and lock in like that. I tell them, same thing with a trap bar deadlift. I tell them, think about you have a $100 bill into there. Once you bring the bar out, you want to depress your scapula, right? And that's really going to give you great position to have a lot of bench power. And once they're starting to learn it more, once they can get that form down and I don't have to tell them anymore, they're going to have huge numbers. So this was their last bench day of the strength block. Then they're going to deload, and then they're going to go into a peaking phase, and they're going to test their lifts. And I'm going to make a video on their progress, see where they're at after is basically 2 months and a peak week. Their peak week is probably going to be 2 to 3 weeks max, and then deload and test. So I guess you could say 3 months of training, see how far they've come, and then we're going to repeat the cycle. And then once they get closer to summertime, I'm going to get them on a concurrent system, which is known as conjugate through Westside Barbell. I'm not going to claim that I do straight up conjugate. It's a version of it. I'll have them do speed bench press with bands and speed box squats with bands so that they can get a lot of fast twitch muscle because Callum wants to play D-line in college and Davion wants to play guard or tackle on the O-line because they're both are very capable of playing at the next level. So, yeah, that's the plan. Super proud of these guys, and thanks for watching.